Cassette decks, they come in all different shapes and sizes, all different configurations. Look at the way you get them with stereo systems, you get them with boom boxes, you get them with carry-arounds, you get them all sorts of things. Shoebox, this is quite popular. And there's just one thing they've got in common. They all take the compact cassette.
Hang on, did you say only one thing in common?
Oh yes, the one thing in common they've got is that they all take the compact cassette. There is one other thing which is common to them. They all have to have tape transport mechanisms. They have to have operation keys or buttons. Let's have a quick look at what the differences are. I've grouped the different cassette decks that we looked at earlier into the groups that we need to look at. Philips invented the cassette and they went for this initially, joysticks, but they weren't that popular after a while. People realised there was a better way of doing it. So next came piano key or mechanical key operation type mechanisms, just like this one. This recorder is from 1968. All of what follows are piano keys, but they don't always look like piano keys. That one does, and that one does, sort of, but this one maybe doesn't, and this one, you've got to look twice, but they're down the bottom. This one has got soft touch buttons, and we'll get onto them now. Initially, soft touch buttons were for the expensive machines, but that's not true anymore. You can get soft touch buttons on low-cost machines, and you can get push buttons, piano key buttons on expensive machines. But by and large, the more modern or the more expensive machines tend to have soft touch buttons. Why am I doing this video? Well, it's simple. On one of the Facebook groups the other day, somebody asked the question, can you go from fast forward to rewind without going through stop or any of the other functions? And the simple answer was, well, you shouldn't do really. But then everybody started piling in with all these different variations. And I thought I'd make this just to keep it fairly simple and fairly obvious. If you've got soft touch controls, the majority of them actually have interlock. So when you push rewind straight from fast forward, it will actually rewind straight from fast forward. It will go through the process. It will stop the tape, then it will start rewinding it. But you do have the problem that it does it very quickly, quicker than you can think, but it won't damage the machine. However, if you've got joystick controls, well, you're not going to be able to do it because you've got to go through stop, which was what they were invented for. Philips weren't daft, you know. They actually were a variation of what was on the normal domestic reel-to-reel tape recorders at the time. So that was that method there. So they went on to piano controls, the piano keys. They look like piano keys on most of the machines, but they are the same functions, whether it be a little round button or a key-shaped key. And that was what they were for. They were to be able to stop, fast forward, rewind. But there were instructions in many of them saying, do not go from one to the other. A lot of machines actually had sliding lock interlocks, and that was fine, but they used to get bent because kids would push them hard. So this simple answer is, if you've got a mechanical type operation, go through stop, because, well, what the hell? You might as well, because there's a lot of people said, oh, I've done it for years without doing it, but yeah, okay. If you don't try and push the buttons wrong, you won't get the problems occur. So, you know, it's as simple as that. However, if you do it accidentally, it's not going to be a problem if it can happen accidentally. One of the things that the guys didn't seem to take into account was that when they were abusing their cassette decks, back in the day, they could get spares, they could get replacements. But nowadays, if you break something like that, you're screwed. There is no readily source of parts for the vintage cassette decks, but you know, do you want one of these cheap cheerful things? And they're not retrofittable. If you've got any value out of this video, please like or subscribe, but I'd like to get some more. We need to get more subscribers and we need to get the channel out to more people. Let's try and make life less complicated. Let's try and keep it simple.